And now I have this extra piece, so I can decide what I want to do with this. Maybe for you, if you wanted to cut yours off, you could trim it. You could add another piece so that it goes, you know, all the way to the edge. I want to keep this, so I'm just going to leave it be. And then maybe this will be some sort of, yeah, some sort of like closure. So my book stays closed. I can make like a loop that will lock it in there. Okay. So just to review, you should now have a book that's accordion folded. So when you lift it up, it springs open and then springs back closed. And then here's what it should look like from the side. Of course, with your own paper and your own creative materials, okay? So that is the primary book structure. Now let's add some pockets. Okay, you're gonna need a square or a rectangular piece of paper. And this should be smaller than your book, right? So this would be too big. That pocket is giant, so make it smaller. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this size. Okay, so pocket, we need to be able to get into it, right? So you can't glue all the edges, otherwise it's not functional. So what we want to do is we're going to glue 3 sides, and I'm just going to decide where I want to put it in my sketchbook. I think right here, I want to line it up on the tape. I like the symmetry of that. Okay, so decide what's the top of your pocket. That's my top, so I'm not going to glue the top. Glue the side, glue the bottom, glue the other side. And then put it down where you want it. You could leave a gap on the bottom, wherever you'd like to put it, okay? So smooth that out for 10 seconds. Really important here so that the pocket doesn't fall apart and you don't lose things. Okay, so there is the pocket. That should be functional. The bottom's not gonna come off. The sides aren't gonna come off. If you're using tape, just tape it. Okay, if it's on the edge, you can tape it on the edge and then wrap it around. So make sure you just have a single sheet here and wrap it around the back. Okay, and then other side tape. And that is a simple pocket, basic pocket, okay? All right, the second pocket has some tabs. It's a little bit more complex pocket. So decide what paper you want to use. You're going to need another square or rectangle. You could even get creative with this, right? Could you repurpose a piece of paper that already has writing on it, right? This could be an interesting pocket. This came with some takeout. It's, instructions for making ramen. Maybe you have some paper that has a nice texture. This was an envelope from my cousin, and it has a cool design. I could use this for the pocket. It actually already has an envelope, so that would work pretty well on its own. Okay, so the next step is you're going to make 3 lines. So get something to write with. And this line should be on the edge, but about like a finger width away from the edge. And I'm going to use a sheet of paper because this is already straight. I could use a ruler if I wanted to, but this works just fine. It was cut by machine, so it's already straight. So I'm going to trace that. That's my finger width. You're going to do this to 3 sides. Leave the top alone. So left side, right side, and bottom side. Okay, so that looks like this. Next step, you'll see you have 2 squares here on the corners. Those gotta go, so cut them out. We don't need these little squares. now you're going to fold on these lines. Fold up, fold up, and fold up. Okay, so that should look something like this. It's like a little origami box without one side. Okay, so now we're going to glue this. Okay, glue or tape. So the glue is going to go on the tabs. You have 3 tabs. Okay, so find a new spot in your sketchbook where you'd like this second style of pocket. Don't forget, you also have the back. Accordion sketchbooks are so cool because they're double-sided. So I think this one's going to go right here. Okay, so glue your first tab, second tab, third tab. I'm going to put this one right in the middle. And this pocket tends to like bounce up, so really make sure that you smooth this out. Hold on to it for at least 10 seconds. Okay. Okay, and I love this pocket because it's a little bit bouncier, so it tends to open and it fits. You can also like fit bigger things, which is pretty cool. Okay, so that's pocket number 2. The next thing we'll be making is an envelope, and to make the envelope you need to trace the template. So the template's linked below this video, so you'll open that up on your computer. Take a sheet of paper, place that on top of your screen, and make sure your screen, the brightness is up so that you can actually see the template come through. I'm going to tape my paper to the screen just temporarily so it doesn't move around as I'm tracing. Okay, so now I'll go ahead and trace my template from the screen. If you have a computer where the screen lays all the way down on the table, that could be helpful right now. So I'm going to do my best. And I'm also going to capture the dotted lines of the template. These are the lines that we'll be folding on. Okay, so that is the envelope template. So now you can remove this. And we're going to cut it out. So you want to cut it all in one piece, so it just follow the very outside line. So depending on how big the template was on your screen will determine how big the envelope is. If you want the envelope bigger, try to make the template full screen so that you can get as big as possible. Okay, so now we have our fold lines. So we're going to take the template and start to fold it up. Okay, so you can see I'm just folding right on that line. Fold each of the 4 tabs on the fold lines. Okay, so our template's coming together. Now we need to secure it with some glue or tape. Those will happen in two places. Here on this small tab and over here. Okay, and the big tab is going to be the one that folds up to hold the envelope together. This is the tab that opens and closes the envelope, so don't glue this one. So I'll demonstrate both glue and tape here. There's the glue. Smooth it out for 10 seconds. And if you're using tape, just get a piece of tape that's about the size of the side. If it's a little bit bigger or smaller, that's okay. So you're just gonna set that tab down, put the tape on, but have some the tape hanging off, right? Because the tape hanging off here, we're gonna fold it back and around. Okay, so wrap the tape around the side. My piece was way too long, so I'll just snip it off. Okay, so it's tape on the front and then around to the back. And the envelope should be functional. You should be able to put some things inside of it. If your avatars fit in the envelope, that's a great place to keep your avatars. Now, you gotta decide where you want this envelope to go. For me, I think it would be really cool to put an envelope in an envelope, double envelope. So I'm gonna go here, find my envelope. I'm gonna decide if I want it opening from the side, from the bottom. Could go on the other side. I think I'll put it right in the middle. So you're gonna glue the flat side of the envelope, okay? Don't glue the flap. Glue the flat side. I always put glue on the border and then I crisscross it in the center. Okay, so you can see my flap, it's still able to open and close. That's really important. If you're using tape, just tape it down. Okay, so there's my envelope on an envelope. All right, the next thing we'll add is actually another accordion. So you have this accordion sketchbook already. It's opening horizontally, right, side to side, and we're gonna make a pop-up that opens from top to bottom, or bottom to top, okay? So you'll need some more paper. For me, I might explore some more of this paper bag. I just really like the pattern, the design on it. So I think I'm gonna take this side off. Okay, so this paper should be as tall as your sketchbook or shorter, okay? It could be even smaller than that if you wanted it to be, because it has to fit inside the book. Okay, so there's my first piece. For this accordion, we're gonna glue it together till it's as long as your arm. So from your fingertip to your chest, that's how long this paper should be. Okay, so I'm gonna need to take another piece of paper here and lengthen this. And I want them to be the same height, okay? So I'm just gonna fold this up, line it up. And now I know, now this matches, right? So I can just go ahead and cut this out. Okay, so these will attach. Smooth it out. If you have index cards, that works. If you have Post-it notes, glue them together, but that works. A smaller, long sheet of paper, as long as your arm. So I have one more piece of paper to add.